morning, everyone. We are cloudy and cold, but here's Morris waiting on me. Stripe is outside roaming around somewhere. There he is. Hey, buddy. Hi. Hello. Come on. Good morning. Come here. Oh, he goes. Nope, Stripe's down there. Can't come up, Mom. Gotta come to the bricks. That's all right, buddy. Wherever you want to eat, it's fine with Mom. I just, my back and bending over to pet you longer, and ants over here on the bricks is why I try to put the wet food up top. But it's really not a problem, buddy. Wherever you want to be with your buddy. So there was a cat fight in the yard last night that Morris and Stripe were involved in. It was over here in the side yard. I never saw the other cat. I just heard. I came out to get Marty, who I'd let out to go to the bathroom, and Stripe went out with him. And you got to let him go around, walk around a little bit before bedtime. And when I walked out the door, there was just the moaning, growling, fight sounds. I don't know what you call it. Cats don't really growl. They more have this, sound they make. Anyway, I'm sorry, Morris. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Morris. I didn't think I would sound that much like a cat. Anyway, they seem to be okay, and I didn't see the offending cause of the problem, and I hope that that cat doesn't come back in the yard and we don't have any more problems. It's been a while since I had to run out to attend to a cat issue, and I don't want anybody hurt, and it scared me, and I just don't need that. Yeah, it's yucky here. It's cold and it's cloudy. I guess they're telling us the chance of snow tomorrow is really small. We might see a flake, and we might see a little rain. Well, God, please, seriously, some sort of precipitation tomorrow, whatever we need. Moisture here really bad. We're 5 inches lower than we should be, and I don't want that going into the spring. I don't think tomorrow is a catch-up day, but please, any moisture is appreciated at this point. Yeah, apparently we're not going to see the sun today, and everything is really dry. It's possible I'll come back out later and water some of my plants or trees. I guess I need to go check out the forecast and understand what we are or aren't likely to get. I'd probably hold out till after tomorrow's event. I don't normally have to water things in the winter here, but this winter's a little dry. The house smells like bacon this morning. And I just took on his normal omelet with salsa on it. And I'm having just a fried egg with some cheese. So I found evergreen sassafras mats on Amazon. And they're like the ones I've been finding at Guardian Angel. And I really wanted one for January, so I ordered it. I have one I bought for $3 at Guardian Angel for Valentine's Day. Anyway, it's the perfect size mat for the back step here. It's supposed to be an insert for a bigger mat thing, but I don't need the insert.
I'm down to like my last swallow of coffee. That means I gotta get up and go to work.
Oh, I'm sorry. Work as in on my printer.
Well, it's time, and I'm ready to do it.
Yeah, well, I can make you a thing of tea when you come in, or something better.
Yeah. Well, I did have the garage heater running.
Oh, okay. So it's not free.
Yeah.
It won't be comfy, but it's not going to be, annoyingly cold. Well, that's good.
Annoyingly cold. That's right.
Yeah. So today's the day Don puts the belts on the printer.
That's right.
And Don is slowly reducing his caffeine intake. I will not let him stop drinking coffee, nor will I let him go to caffeine free. But I think for better sleep hygiene, he's experimenting with a reduction in caffeine. So he's mixing regular beans with caffeine-free beans at some small, start off with a slight change and move a little bit.
That's right.
I don't plan to let him move. I think this is a great idea. It was even, I was even positive on it as we talked about, but I also am I don't want zombie Don, so we're not going to go down to no caffeine either.
Yeah, it's a balancing act between problem sleeping at night and being a zombie during the day.
Yeah,
Don and never get alert.
Don and I both gave up caffeine before.
That's right.
And it was total. I went 3
years.
I went 3 years with when I was having my kids, and I don't ever want to do that again. A reduction is a good goal, and you can kind of still have the same flavor, Don hopes, and volume of coffee if you. So he's got an organic decaf that matches his regular decaf, and hopefully it'll be good.
Yeah. I guess the only other thing I was going to say is, for me personally, you know, I don't really notice. I take supplements and all that stuff, and I don't notice one way or the other if they help or not. But I would have noticed over my 40 years of drinking coffee that caffeine, I am highly sensitive to caffeine. If I don't have, if I normally have 3 cups, I only have 2, it guarantees me a headache the next morning. I mean, all these things, caffeine has always affected me.
Yeah, some of you might remember when Don went to Texas with Kyle. Don had to, Kyle went through a caffeine headache because Don didn't get his regular caffeine, and it actually spoiled what would have been a really nice dinner that Don would have had with some other people out there. And anyway, we try to...
I get some rip-roaring caffeine.
We try to keep Don on a regular thing. I'm slightly less sensitive.
Yeah.
But more sensitive now that I'm older than when I was younger.
It's only gotten worse for me. I don't know if I was... It's just worse now. I have to... Caffeine really affects me.
So I'm going to vacuum really good while Don's not around to be subjected to the noise. Well, I can't vacuum. I mean, it's better if I don't vacuum while he's working. And if he's going to be out in the garage for a couple hours, let's get her done. I am tearing apart the closet in the green room.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through everything. There's going to be a donation for Guardian Angel. Some of that stuff came from the other house, and it's all craft supplies.
Yes.
And what happened is the boys got older.
Yes.
And we stopped doing things. And some of it hasn't been touched since we moved in and I stored it away. Partly because it's a little hard to get to, but mostly just because the kids got big.
Right.
So I want to make room to store a couple of Lego things in there. And that's my motivation for let's tear apart the craft closet today. So all I'm trying to say is I got plenty to do while you're doing. I will not be piled up with the Hallmark movie or reading my romance novel or my or even building Lego. It's time to shift some stuff. And it's nice down in the house, but I think, Alexa, stop. I think I'm going to have to tell Don to bump the heat cooler. Make it, if it's at 72, go bump it down to 71 because I'm already burning up back there hauling boxes around. I don't need it. So Don made the house really nice and warm for me this morning, and that was great. I wasn't cold while I was doing my morning routine, but now I'm hot.
Yeah.
So a little less heat, Donnie, a little less heat. And this thing keeps on coming on every once in a while. The batteries come back. There's a rechargeable battery up there in the lamp, and it just kind of comes on sometimes, and I enjoy it when it comes on, and Don needs to switch the batteries out for me. But look at this pile of bacon you have for the week. I mean, seriously, right? Look at that bacon.
I don't know that that'll last a week.
It probably will. Just depends on how many breakfasts we have for meals. And let me get the rest of the bacon out before I burn it.
Yeah.
Ruby's out, so Don's got some more room to work. I just watered a good bit here in the backyard, the driveway, parking pad area, and just below the wall. Marty says, Mom, I tried it outside, but it's not warm enough. I cleaned that storage container I brought home from Guardian Angel in the tub and cleaned the tub. And I am working on this closet. And today's project is this closet. There's just some stuff in here I'm never going to use. Came over from the other house. Just don't need it anymore. Taking up valuable space. It's all craft stuff. And it's neat and it's organized. Some of it may have dried out and some of it may, just be stuff I'm not going to use. So there'll be a trash pile and there'll be a Guardian Angel pile.
Okay, it's time to replace the XY belts and the Z belt. It said to clean out the machine, and I just did that with a vacuum cleaner and my new blower that Marianne got me for Christmas. A little handheld blower. Anyway, I'm going to take the door off before I even start to move it. and then I'll undo everything else. And I plan to set up a little workbench right there in this spot so I can get to all 4 sides of the printer. There's my moved over to this little makeshift table, a couple sawhorses and SumoBot's battle table. And basically I didn't undo the AMS really. All I did is slip the PTFE tubing out and undo 2 screws, and I just left all that hooked up, and I plan to put it back the same way. I got to take this off, these screws off right here. I tried to lift this AMS up, but I guess these things were pretty tight friction fit. I didn't want to force it. I don't think I'll have to take this off, but I got to get this off so I have room to work. Well, the first small problem has occurred. This rear shaft Z-axis leveler, there's a piece of poop under there that I cannot get out with my tool, and I remember this screw seeming a little short, so I'm going to have to remove the 3 screws, plug it back in, and raise the bed up and then go back down. So that's a slight little detour that I had not anticipated I'd have to take.
Well, I'm about halfway through the closet. I just dropped a piece of cardboard. I got 2 bags of trash, 2 bags of donations, and I'm just carrying out some cardboard to the garage and coming to check on Dawn. Oh, okay. Hey there.
Hey there. It's not bad.
I'm just looking at the table that you're using.
Yeah, well, you know, it was the right size. The big thing is I have to reach too much.
Okay.
See, I could just put it right in the middle, and it's a comfortable distance from the side.
Makes sense. He's using my SumoBot Lego table.
Right.
So I raised the bed up, just like I said, had no trouble. I just plugged it in, let it boot, and there's the poop that was stuck. And it was stuck up in there, and this is actually a hard piece of poop. Some of the poop is very soft and like a little spring, but this is actually very hard. So I'm sure that would have messed up the Z-axis a little bit. So I do remember, to Bamboo's credit, they said before you lower the plate, clean the bottom of the machine. And you know, I did clean the bottom of the machine. There's no way you can clean back here. The only way you could have ever known that was there is to remove the rear cover. So, you know, they did warn you, be careful, clean it before you lower it, because they didn't want any stuff getting between the Z-axis and the home or the base plate. So, you know, they knew that that was possible, I guess. But anyway, I'm back on track now. I'm going to lower the plate and then put the screws back in and keep on trucking. Okay, the hardest part so far has been to get that belt out. You see, I've got the one at the top out. Of course, it doesn't. The book kind of just says take a screwdriver and kind of get it out, work it out with needle nose pliers, have a good life. Well, what it is there's a little notch right here that you can stick a screwdriver in. Oh, of course, my tool is always 1/4 inch too long. I can't see a thing what I'm doing. You put just screwdriver in that notch, okay, and you very carefully hold it in that notch, and you pull in this case to the right. It takes quite a bit of effort, and of course you have to lock the carriage because it's trying to move as you're putting that on there, but eventually it will slide out. There's actually a little notch. You can actually see it in the one I got out. You see that notch? It's a little boogered up because of my screwdriver, because I didn't know what I was doing. And they didn't give you any close-up picture, or just said, you know, do it. Have fun. Anyway, but I'm cooking with gas. I only get to do 3 of those.
I took a picture. I should have filmed a video. But anyway, it's better. It was a lot of work. And I got a few more Lego boxes piled on this side. and I didn't have room for as much stuff as I had hoped for. Probably at some point should get rid of some of the card making stamp stuff that I have, Creative Memories. I've got way too much of it because I collected it at Guardian Angel, but that's okay. See, there's donation here and trash here. I mean, I really did a good job. I just didn't get a lot of space back. Well, I got my stuff done inside and I come out to say hello. Don's on hour 4 now.
Almost ready to
I asked him if he thought the belts were bad enough that they were for sure the problem, and he couldn't say for sure that they were. So we're going to say optimistic about the new belts fixing the problem.
Yeah, because at this point, I'm hoping that does it.
Yeah, and
if some things, and I'll do a little wrap-up video before I stop, so that maybe I can save some other people a little grief. Or at least they don't have to experience the same level of grief that I went through. Yeah. I had to end up taking this cover off over here.
Which you had hoped to not have to do.
Right, so and I would say, anyway, I'll do a wrap-up video.
Okay.
I'm just doing the other PM. They said...
yeah, Don's probably stirred up some dust, so he's cleaning the rods while he can get to them real easy, and why not do the preventative maintenance while he's in there? Yeah. And I'm headed back to the house because a man working on a piece of equipment don't need a woman underfoot.
Oh, you're doing fine. Thank you for coming visiting.
Yeah, I was just letting him know I'm done with the stuff in the house I was doing, except for I got to edit it's time to edit the video. I'm at that part of the program. So unfortunately, I'm going to go put my butt down, but oh, hi guys. That puts a smile on my face. I kicked Marty out of the house when I ran the vacuum cleaner, although he's not super sensitive to it. And he can come back in anytime now because I'm done. I had the hose out and I was sucking up spider webs in the corner and underneath pieces of furniture and, fun stuff. And of course, I told you I did the tub earlier. That's like the most fun job ever on the planet. So I tried to torture myself a little bit today while Don was having to work on my printer.
Well, it's back together and it's calibrating. I don't know. We'll have to see the proofs in the pudding. I don't know. It took 7 hours. I started at 12:40 and it's 7:30. So it took just almost 7 hours. I had a little trouble in a couple places. I did twist the belt and have to rethread it. And that cost me probably a little bit of time. If I were to do it again, I'm sure I could do it in 3 hours. But I don't know that not taking the covers off is any advantage whatsoever. I think that belt does not thread through there unless there's a good method. My shrink wrap method didn't really work on the second belt. It got jammed up and I ended up having to take the side cover off to unjam it and get it back out. So I don't know. I would say just bite the bullet and take the covers off. And I think it'd go a little bit smoother. You won't have to fool with that silly trying to figure out some way to bind the two belts together. That's my advice at this point. If I was to do it again, I'd take the covers off.
I just took Don some hot tea in the garage. I got the video edited, and Marty and I are going to do bag 18 and probably 19, maybe 20 on the house for a little bit. I had some hot tea too. My throat felt not great for a little bit. I had better not be coming down with something. Well, I did bags 18 and 19, and that finished this 1, 2, 3rd floor on this building. You'll remember it has a really nice blue roof. Maybe you won't remember. Let's see if we can get the box up. Here's the box. It has a nice blue roof. And I guess we're done with the other side except for putting a roof on it. So basically what's left is the roofs. There's 5 bags left, I believe. So anyway, the ribs are done. Dawn's done. And we'll send to print in a little bit when it's done doing all of its calibrations and checks and stuff. And, you know, hope very strongly that everything is better. So it's the next day, but we wanted to do a wrap-up video on the printer.
Right, because last night I ended my video saying I don't know if it was worth it. We won't know until we print something. So the short answer is it seemed to help it a little bit. The pink one, I don't know if you can see the lines. See how the lines are in it? Yeah. That's what was causing Marianne concern.
Yeah.
And this is one that we took off the printer last night. And at least from my view, the lines are much decreased.
Yeah, there was a little bit of yuckiness on the top, and that yuckiness is on both of them before and after. That doesn't seem to be related to the changes.
So we're not saying it's 100% good yet, but we're encouraged, very encouraged. It looked like I certainly helped the problem somewhat. So that's an encouragement. But I wanted to go and kind of have a little wrap up. Not that anybody's going to watch my video if they're going to be changing the belts. But if they are, I've got a couple tips. So the first thing is the Bamboo talks about fastening the old belt to the new belt. So think you got the old belt here and the new belt. They say fasten them. And Marianne's going to show a picture of that.
Right, I'm going to put it up on the screen of one that Bamboo showed fastened.
They just say glue it. They also say be very, very careful when you pull it through the printer. So this is the procedure, method 1 that you can, or method 2, that you can replace the belt when it's not broken with, pull the new belt in using the old belt. So you can easily cut off the end of the old belt, but there's a problem. The new belt comes with this. Notice this little block. So you can't.
Whoops,
you can't.
I accidentally pressed.
So maybe you can glue it. Maybe if you're better than me, you can. You can glue it. But this block is as thick as the opening. And around the eyler pulleys, and it gets stuck. And when I put the shrink, I had basically the belt like this, effectively. So the belt thickness, the block thickness, and the belt thickness. So 2 belt thicknesses in the block, and then the shrink wrap. That would got hung up in the machine. So my suggestion of using shrink wrap, I don't like that idea. If you're going to do it with the block, maybe if you butted up the end, I don't know, you can try that. Butt it up to the old to the new belt, shrink wrap that, and maybe that will go through. I don't know. And certainly you can pull this block off.
The old one.
The old one. You can take it off and just re-glue it on. Because really, you only need the glue for the block to hold it while you get it in its home position in the machine. Because once you get it in that little, the little thing that captured it in the head, the print head, or the carriage, once you get it in there, it's actually the teeth engaging with the teeth that locks it into place. See the teeth, they engage. The glue is just to keep the 2 pieces together so you can put it in there.
So the glue isn't really adding to the thing. So you can't just pull this thing off. Because one of them came off on mine because I had so much trouble pulling it through the machine. And so I had to glue it. Finish running the new belt without the little block on the end. And then before putting it into the print head, I had to glue the block on, let it dry for a few minutes. I used instant glue, and then I had no trouble putting it in there. So, but I have no idea how you can glue it together. But if it has any thickness at all, it's not going to go around those rollers. So that's why my recommendation is just take all the covers off. And that's my recommendation. If you're doing this and your printer is ours is 7,000 hours of printing time. I'd like to say it's reasonably well maintained, but it was really dirty. So I would say if you've got a couple thousand hours on this thing or more, just take the cover method off. Then you don't have to worry about hooking the old cape, because you can easily thread it through there. They give you the right little openings where using a tool, you can poke the new belt through all the places it needs to go with a little work. But the advantage of taking all the covers off is you can clean the machine really well. You can get to all those rods, and both the smooth ones, the carbon rods, and then of course the Z-axis screws. All that can be gotten to. And after several thousand hours, it just probably needs a good cleaning.
And that's even with me vacuuming 2 or 3 times a week inside the printer to suck all of the debris out.
So if you only have a few hundred hours on and your belt breaks, that's one thing. But if you're like us, it's 22 months old, has 7,000 hours. That's a 44% duty cycle on that printer. Marianne is up into the commercial world, wishes they could get a 44% duty cycle out of their printer to keep it that busy. Because that's 24 hours. I mean, she's literally something's on that printer 24 hours a day. Well, I mean, obviously it stops when it runs out in the middle of the night and there's nothing. It finishes print for a couple hours.
We're away for the day or something. Yeah.
If she's awake, that printer is printing.
Yeah, math girl sends long prints overnight and long prints when we're going to be gone, and short prints when I'm prepared to run out every hour and pull stuff off the printer. And I use A to let me know when the print's finished.
That's right.
I just use the math on the studio or handy screen. It tells me what time the print's going to be done and have A. I'm just trying to tell you I've aimed to be efficient about keeping things cranking on out, baby.
More than once she sent me to the garage because she set the timer at the calculation, and I've heard the printer because it makes a noise when it lowers the plate.
Right.
I've been walking through the door as the plate is lowered.
I'm efficient.
There's no wasted time.
Yeah. So just to sum it up, Dawn went with the plan yesterday to use the old belt to pull the new belt around so he wouldn't have to take off all the sides. And it probably slowed him down, even though taking off the sides isn't trivial.
Right.
He probably wished he'd have just took off all the sides.
Because of the cleaning. In other words, yes, I wish taking off the sides or taking the sides off, that's going to add an hour minimum to your project. But the thing is, you can play with that belt like I did for 3 hours trying to get it to go through there. So my recommendation is just to go on and bite the bullet, waste the hour, take the covers off, and then you can clean the printer. You won't have any trouble with the belt. And the belt will take 15 minutes each to run the belt. Now, hooking the belt into the print head, getting that little block where it needs to go, just like getting it out, it's a pain in the ass. It's no easier getting it in. It doesn't just fall in there. You have to finesse it into that little mechanism that they have. And of course, they show you these pictures, and the pictures is the equivalent of black on black, so you can't see anything. They just kind of say, put it here.
Yeah, welcome to my Lego instruction world with black and dark brown and reddish brown all in the same build.
Yeah, you would think that somebody would have photoshopped that print head to make it, let's say, white and leave the belt black, or something.
Up the contrast.
Something could have been done to make that picture work better than that. And they certainly could have did a little bit better than just say, oh, using glue or other method affects the new belt to the old belt. That they didn't warn you about this block won't go through there. if you leave, I think that's the bottom line. Is they used to sell the belts with the blocks separate, and it was probably very easy to sort of, you have a reasonable chance of getting the two belts through there because there's no thick part and you could carefully do it. But I think the people complain more about the, oh, I have to glue the block on there, I couldn't get the block to stay, and then they said, well, we'll just ship it with the block on there, but then that pretty much thwarts the gluing. So hopefully, if I ever get to do this again, I will test my hypothesis.